It's finally here. The Completionist has decided to make a response video to the drama that he's in, and this hands down has to be one of the worst YouTuber response videos I have ever seen in an extremely long time. If I had to put this on the YouTuber apology tier list, it's a D tier. And the only reason why it's not F tier is literally because in this video, he actually cared enough to show a little bit of proof, which is actually something pretty good because most of the time when a YouTuber make a response video, they don't even care enough to do that. They just say a bunch of things and their source is literally "Just trust me." Like, hey, I ended up saying this and you will definitely believe me. Even though I'm in a ginormous controversy, just believe what I say and I'm not going to show you any proof at all with a smiley face. But that reason is actually the only reason why it's not F tier. Other than that, everything about this video is terrible. And I am going to tell you why it's really bad. Now, the whole purpose of this video isn't actually a response video or apology. The whole purpose of it is him basically trying to tell his audience why what he did isn't legally wrong. He's not really trying to apologize for what he's did. He's saying that, yeah, I ended up kinda doing some of it, but here's why I'm not a criminal. That is mainly because a lot of the things that Some Ordinary Gamer and Carl Joss ended up accusing him for, he actually kind of admitted to some of them. The first and the most obvious one is the money being held. The whole reason why this drama began is because he ended up running an event which is known as Indieland, and Some Ordinary Gamer and Carl Joss ended up figuring out that all of the money that he ended up raising for that event has not been going to charity at all. Even though the Completionist has said multiple times that he's going to donate the money to charity and actually name organizations that he's currently working with and donated to. That is the main reason why this whole drama actually started. And in his response videos, he actually admit to doing both of that. Let me show you the clips.
I can confirm that as of Wednesday, November 29th, 2023, the Open Hand Foundation has donated $600,000 to the Association for Frontotemporal Degeneration. However, it did take too long to get to this moment, and for that, I am sorry. The money is now in good hands to make a lasting impact. For more information on the donation, there will be a link down below that you can check out.
So that is one reason why everyone is basically mad at him, and the whole reason why this drama has basically started. People are pissed off that all of the money that people have donated to Indieland, thinking that it's actually going to go to a good cause, isn't going anywhere at all. It was just sitting in an account, basically just wasting away. Or I shouldn't really say that. It was basically just staying in an account and nothing was being done with it. It was just sitting there and not helping the organizations that he said it was. He even admitted in the video that he should not have said that Indieland has been working with these organizations because he has not been donated any of the money. And he also apologized for that.
I took two things I'm passionate about, indie games and charity work, and started Indieland to highlight the indie game community and raise money in honor of my mom for a good cause. During several recent Indieland events, press interviews, and podcasts, I went on record saying where the money was going to and that the Open Hand Foundation had worked with various organizations. At different points, the foundation had been in communication with or considered several of them, but it was not appropriate for me to make such statements when final actions had not yet been taken. The Open Hand Foundation's goal was to make a large impact by donating the money to the right place. And a lot of the conversations that were had with various organizations involved the funds not being restricted or came with extremely high administrative costs. Look, any way you say this, action needed to be taken. And to that point, I'm sorry.
And that is basically the whole reason why most people are mad at him and why this whole drama basically started. He admitted to the main reason of this drama. Now, after this part, he goes into a lot of filler, basically telling people the origin story on why the Open Hand Foundation exists, and why he decided to start Indieland, that story that he told over and over again. I don't know why, maybe to pad out some time or maybe to gain some sympathy points, but he ended up telling that story again. Then he goes a little bit deeper into how the foundation is actually structured, and I think when he goes into that, that truly shows the reason why I think the whole purpose of this video is basically him trying to convince his audience on why what he's doing isn't illegal. Because again, he doesn't try to deny the fact on what what he ended up doing with the money, he tries to prove to the audience on why what he ended up doing is completely okay and why it's fine that this ended up happening. And I think the best way to easily show this is when he actually starts talking about the golf event, because this whole drama basically has two sides. First is the Open Hand Foundation and Indie Land, and then second is the golf event that his father ended up running. Even though he ended up saying earlier on in the video that he actually has nothing to do with that event, and the only thing that he ended up doing with that event is going there sometimes and saying a couple of speech, but he ended up saying that all the management is not under his control at all. But the golf event is a big part of this drama, so I guess he felt like he had to go in response to it. And his response to the event is very interesting. So the first thing that he ended up tackling is the money. Basically, Some Ordinary Gamer and Carl Jaws, they both ended up making second videos talking about this whole situation, where they basically ended up saying that it looks like a lot of money apparently seems to be missing. It looks like they are underreporting how much money this event is actually making. And obviously something like that isn't good at all. That is actually pretty bad. And here is the completionist response to that.
The interesting thing about the money the golf tournament raises is that it seems to disappear. Fans of the completionist who rushed out to defend him tried to claim that because Gerard hadn't spent the money, it wasn't stolen. From 2014 to 2017, filings showed the Open Hand Foundation received between $30,000 to $60,000 per event. This is likely underreported.
In 2019, the foundation reported $123,816 in revenue, but the accusers alleged that $14,000 is unaccounted for. Our books do reconcile, and these accusations are the result of bad math and missing information. The 2019 Indieland's net proceeds were $82,409.19, and when combined with $31,371.55 in revenue from the golf tournament and $10,000 from a direct supporter, it adds up to $123,780.74.
Now, this is very interesting to me. So it looks like he ended up saying that the reason why Some Ordinary Gamer and Carlos Jaws ended up getting their numbers so messed up is because the filing is wrong and they ended up making a little bit of mistakes on their side. And then he ended up telling us how much money the golf event actually made, which is a very interesting move, but this kind of goes deeper on the point that he's not really trying to apologize or run away from anything that he did. He's trying just to prove on, hey, this is what ended up happening, and this is why I'm not a criminal for that ended up happening. And not only that, he's also trying to dodge accountability too, because even though he ended up admitting that, yeah, we ended up making some mistakes, he tries to give so much excuses on, look, this is why it ended up happening. And it's not because we ended up making a mistake and we're just bad at management. No, it's because of this and that. And all of this is definitely not my fault. And also remember, guys, even though I did perfectly admit to holding all the money and taking way too long to donate it to charity, even though I said I was going to do that multiple times, I'm still not legally wrong. I didn't do anything illegal, so I'm still a good person. Just don't worry about all of the money that I ended up saying that I was donating, even though I didn't. And it especially goes in deeper even more when he goes into the second allegations that Some Ordinary Gamer and Carl Joss ended up hitting him with. Let me show you that part of the video.
$125,000 being embezzled for unknown admin purposes. As previously mentioned, we went from a private to public charity, and under both nonprofit structures, we're legally obligated to spend money on expenses. With that said, it is perfectly legal to hold donations, and in fact is not uncommon for organizations to hold their funds.
Computer scientist, so I really urge anybody that has background in tax accounting for charitable organizations, or hell, if the IRS is watching this, one of the things that Carl brought up to me very recently was the 5% rule, which again, this is a very complicated rule, but the idea is the US government expects foundations to use their assets to benefit society, and they enforce it through section 4942 of the Internal Revenue Code, which requires private foundations to distribute 5% of the market value, the fair market value of their endowment each year for charitable purposes. So again, I want to see how this rule is done, because according to the filings we've seen, they haven't actually given any money. They've spent money in operating expenses, But again, we need to actually see if they're giving their money to a charitable organization.
Referencing that same rule mentioned in this claim, the foundation is actually not legally required to distribute a minimum of 5% a year in charitable donations because, once again, the Open Hand Foundation is a public charity. This means that the $600,000 that was donated did not incur any fees or is not subject to any tax penalties.
So again, let's look deeply into his words. He's kind of saying that it is legally okay that I ended up doing this, and here's why this whole situation is fine and why I am not a bad person. And I think the whole ending of the video truly shows his whole motivation on why he ended up making this in the first place and why he ended up responding.
Should be held accountable when faced with serious allegations. However, the narrative can get taken so far away from the truth that the court of public opinion supersedes fact. I recognize and take accountability for all of my actions. At the same time, I am not going to let my reputation be compromised by allegations that are not true. I own up to my part in this, but I will not be painted as someone who is a con artist and embezzler. I won't be someone whose name gets tarnished without putting up a fight. I owe it to my friends, my family, and myself to stand up to this situation right now. Furthermore, my family and I are in serious conversations with our legal teams regarding next steps, as the allegations that have been made with complete disregard for the truth of the matter. These allegations were made by individuals who self-admittedly aren't even financial or legal professionals. These allegations are slanderous, and we believe we're done with selfish intent.
Yeah, it seems like he's trying to go the whole Logan Paul route with CoffeeZilla when that whole drama ended up starting. He's kind of threatening a lawsuit against Some Ordinary Gamer and Carl Jaws. So I guess this is another example of two extremely big YouTubers getting ready to go inside of a legal battle. Now, kind of like most of the time when YouTubers threaten lawsuits, I actually don't think that it's going to go true. Maybe I could be 100% wrong. He looks pretty serious and also sounds pretty angry that all of this ended up happening to him and that he really wants to get rid of all of the rumors and how his reputation has been destroyed and now people think he's this criminal and trying to scam people from money. I think the full ending part of the video truly shows the full reason why this video is made. He's not trying to apologize, or he's not really trying to take accountability for the main reason why people are mad at him, because the whole purpose on why Some Ordinary Gamer and Carl Jaws ended up making this video series in the first place isn't trying to accuse him for being a criminal or saying that he ended up committing a crime, because they have said multiple times that they don't want to do that, because the people who have to actually solve that are the legal officials, are the people like the IRS, and also if they do go to court, it is up to the judge to actually decide if what this guy did is illegal or not two goofy YouTubers or just people on the internet. Some Ordinary Gamers and Carl Joss have said that multiple times, and most of the people who are accusing this guy for actually being a criminal are probably other YouTubers out there and also just people on Twitter who are probably just saying that so their tweet can get as much views as possible so they can go get that Twitter blue paycheck. The whole reason why this drama ended up starting is because all of the money that was being held from the Indie Land charity. People were angry because all the money that they ended up donated wasn't going anywhere for years. And this whole apology video doesn't even change that fact. He basically admit that, yeah, my charity is so badly managed and I'm so bad at my job that I ended up basically holding all of your money for an extremely long period of time, and the only reason why that money actually ended up getting donated is basically because two YouTubers ended up making fun of me. This video basically doesn't change anything. All it really does is just completely destroys this man's reputation because he shows his true colors. The only reason why he cares about this whole situation doesn't seem like because of the whole charity and the actual terrible mistake he ended up making. It seems like he just cares because he doesn't doesn't want his reputation to be ruined, and he still wants to be this nice, beloved YouTuber. This is a core example of someone who doesn't deserve their fan base, their reputation, or anything at all. And the fact that he ends off the video trying to threaten to other people with legal actions for basically just exposing public information that anyone could have gone and get is absolutely insane. Truly just a wild situation, and I'm very curious to see how this is going to end. Anyway, my name is Lua. This is something that I want to talk about. You have a good day or night. See ya.